for overseas versus domestic. That doesn't make it right. It just, as a system that's been in place, cost-wise, it's very expensive to place people overseas, and the logistics. So we've asked the same questions as inspectors. We're very frustrated. Many times we're asked to travel solo if we're domestic.
Do they have the resources to do their job?
No. We are, and everybody would admit that we would love to have the luxury of having more people. They're just unwilling to augment those that are overseas by the people stateside because they just don't have the resources to spare.
Steve, when it comes to in-house maintenance at your particular carrier or the culture that's in Australia with regard to having in-house maintenance versus outsourced maintenance, what is it that makes that program successful, or why did the airline choose to keep more control of it rather than outsource as much as they do? Well,
look, I think that comes back to your original question about is it just a perception of being safer in-house or not? And I'd just like to read a couple of reports that have come out. There was an aircraft, a Qantas aircraft, worked on in Singapore 18 months ago. It was outsourced to the facility, and somehow a report fell into our lap from. It's an internal Qantas report that wasn't really meant to get out, but anyway, I'll read. It was noted that 11 detailed inspection cards were certified by the same licensed engineer on the same day without any mechanic signature on these cards. It's 56 hours work this engineer's done. He's done inspections for 56 hours on his 8-hour shift. He's either a really fast worker or there's something going wrong there. The next one might clarify it. Task card for rudder free play check was initially certified by a mechanic and a licensed engineer on the 23rd of August 2006. This check was considered not possible to perform at this date, as no power or hydraulic pumps were on the aircraft on the date. So what do? Do you think they went and checked it again? No, they just backdated it to a week earlier when there was hydraulic power on the aircraft. So these are the sort of things that happen with aircraft that are sent overseas. Look, I'll have to say I've worked with a lot of Asian mechanics in Australia, and some of them are absolutely brilliant. There's a bloke called Frank Tan who basically taught me my trade on the line on the Melbourne tarmac. But in Asia, they work under a different culture. It's a different master-servant relationship where these people just can't stick their head up, otherwise they fear the loss of their jobs. And this is where the original question, is it just a perception? I don't think so. I think it's a real problem if you have outsourced maintenance to some countries.
Thank you. Recommendation.